this topic to me is very important because this is a topic that also plays into the wool being pulled over our eyes. Um, I know a lot of people are aware of the Project Blue and then the other stuff that comes with it. Okay, it begins with a B and an E, and you can spell out the rest. I'm not going to say the rest because I don't want to be flagged or tagged or anything of that nature. But as we can see, and we're heading towards the end of this year, what I have noticed and I talked to somebody about is these mythical creatures, these mythological beings that supposedly exist. And I thought to myself, they spend all this money on aliens, Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Champ, um, something called Uga Uga, whatever it is called. It's somewhere in, I think, probably in South America. It's like supposed to be some type of form of the same thing as Champ or Loch Ness monster. Um, Oga Boga, whatever it's called. I think that's the name of it. Sorry about that. Apologize. But yeah, um, I said to myself, wow, mythological creatures receive a higher investment than children, than the people that have been here that are descendants of slavery, than military veterans, than the homeless population or society that we see on a daily basis. We see people that are drug addicts on these streets that we all are pretty much active in. Um, and I said to myself, wow, they spend all this money on fairy tale make believe things, but when it comes to actual people here who deserve the money and it could solve multiple problems here, they choose not to give it to them, but they choose to give it to a mythological creature that doesn't exist. They'll have documentaries, movies, doc series. They'll have people do reports. You'll see YouTube videos. Just anything. You know what I mean? They have so much invested in it. I was looking at BBC, and they spend at least around $1 billion a year, $1 billion a year in that country alone with serious television shows. Serious is like a bunch of them plural. Um, and they give this money out to people to do these doc series, to do these movies, to do these small documentations, these small, I guess, reports to keep information. Um, that's crazy. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, this is the same society that will get celebrities to tell you to take a shot, and these people have no background in any medical science. They have no history, no knowledge. They don't even know what they're promoting. Remember with the Vax That Ass Up and all these other songs they made about that situation and how that played out? Well, these are the same people and the same parties who will promote everything that is bad for you, right? They're the ones that's pretty much behind these same make believe mythological creatures, entities, ideas, and these type of false narratives that they place upon people in society, which they use propaganda. They use multiple media sites, outlets, and what they do is they start to put into people's minds mythological things. Now remember, they're spending $1 billion per year on these things, right? These are the same people, like I just stated, that just told you that a celebrity can come give you information on a vaccine that the celebrity has no information about themselves, has no background training, has no education on, has not taken any courses or classes to have any true insight on any of this type of information. But somehow they want you to believe that person and then go out and get this vaccine. This is the same thing I'm stating to you when it comes to this mythological creatures. These are the same people who make up stuff that doesn't make any logical sense. They look to manipulate everybody. With their manipulations, they try to play everybody as if we're slow and uneducated. But these are the same people here, right? That are now pointing a finger at all these people that have came here that's committed fraud, that have committed fraud, right? But if they're so educated and have so much of high thinking prowess, and they have so much of a a very educated mindset, and all these type of different tests are either demographic, educational. I would say when they do like these what do you call those again? I was about to say audit, but that is not an audit at all. That's way off. Um, when they do these type of practical tests, or they do educational analysis on groups or backgrounds or education or religion, to get data, pretty much. That's what I was trying to say in a nutshell. When they're getting data, they'll tell you that this group over here is far superior from that group. That all that is all fake. Okay, just like these mythological beings, they're fake. Their data is fake. Their information is fake. What they're telling you has been fake. Because if it took this long, just think about it. It took over 30 years for them to get caught stealing all this money, right? So that means that the whole time they already had the money. They had the money to pay multiple people. They had the money to pay the children of slaves, just like they gave everybody else money. But for 30 years, they allowed all this to go on. And what they did this mysterious hooping and hollering, lying, manipulation, mythological lies, stories, things that don't even add up. And they had me and you and everybody else believing that this was what was going on. Just like a mythological fake unicorn. It's not there, right? But if they can push it so much on every site, social media site, every political platform, everywhere else, it begins to sound real. They told you about the government, certain people in the government, and we found out that was a lie. Because we found out majority of the people were involved with the Epstein man, right? So once again, the same group that's involved with the Epstein man, that are involved with pushing the agenda for these space beings, these unknown entities, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, putting all this money into all these mythological creatures. And when I say mythological creatures, I mean that some of their campaigns was mythological, because some of the stuff that they talked about were fairy tales. It never came true. It had no true base, no true existence. There was nothing that was there. They couldn't find no evidence, nothing. It was just make believe, fake lies. Just like how Bigfoot is a lie. Just like how a Loch Ness Monster is a lie. We've been living here on this earth for a long time. Okay, we done seen every type of animal there is. There's no way in hell an animal that big would be hiding from you. There's no purpose for it to hide. You see what I mean? And it's too much here of so-called technology that we have that can see the planets. And I keep saying this. They can see the other atmospheres. They can fly out of this galaxy into another galaxy to which that galaxy they have no knowledge of. the density, nothing of that galaxy. They don't know nothing about that galaxy, but somehow they're able to do all this, which to me is a mythological lie. Because for one, they can't even tell you about all the species in the ocean. So if you're unable to find the Loch Ness monster here, and you have all of this technology, which you can track people who are not mythological beings, who are not aliens, who are not entities, but you can't track down any of these things that you claim exist, and you want me and other taxpayers to put money into your pockets, into this agency's pocket, or this government agency, or so called whatever it is, to fund these expeditions of BS, a thing of BS, burger shake, so called make believe stuff that's not even good for you. That's just is scrap. Is no good. It's cap. It's fake. It's a mythological being. It's something that's made on AI. You know, AI has created more mythological pictures and captured things that, to me, can have more weight than what mankind has done for the last 2 centuries with these Bigfoots and all these other things. So, what I'm trying to state to you in a nutshell is that they have been wasting all of our money. They knew that they've been wasting it. They've been wasting it first, and they have been manipulating us for a long time with these mythological creatures, which to me, like I stated to you in my last podcast, the War of the World was an operation. It was a certain type of programming that was done by college students who were then going to be picked up by these government agencies. And to me, these mythological beings, these fake entities that don't exist, just like some of these people in this government to me that don't exist, that are played by actors, which we've seen recently with Mr. Carey, somebody playing him because they knock these people off. They do all kind of wicked stuff here, and they're not really truth worthy, and they don't really tell the truth at all about nothing. It's all mythological lies. It's fake. It's not real. It's not based on anything. You see what I mean? Mythological lies are just stuff that they create into folk tale, and then they create it by lying, which is the same thing that they did to children. They made folk tales and told kids that, hey, if you don't go to sleep, the boogeyman will come out of the closet, and then it scared kids so much to where they told them kids that they were friends with at the school, and it kept going progressing. And then you see how that works. You see what I mean? What I'm trying to state to you is that they're good at creating their own narratives and their own monsters. The mega millionaire machine that manifests monsters is the entertainment industry and our own uh, country itself. And they employ people to do this. And they bring these people here. And what these people jobs are to do is to keep us all mesmerized and lost mentally with things that don't work out to nothing. You see what I mean? They'll tell you about all these different powers, these abilities, this different blah, blah, blah. We use this type of craft, this stuff of that nature. Haven't you noticed that all this magic and all this other stuff that they use and all these other things, it can't solve nothing? If there was a actual wizard on this planet that can get rid of all bad and get rid of all drugs, wouldn't you think that that would be done already? Right, because it doesn't exist. See, mankind's downfall is to attack mankind. And mythological creatures, myths, madness, chaos, it's all a mental mindset, right? It's things that break you down mentally, then they break you down spiritually, then they break you down physically. So, what I'm trying to state to you in the nicest way of expressing it without being rude is that a lot of this stuff is fake. It's make believe. They have made us to believe that these things exist, then for years have strung us along by creating small layers of lies and then adding on to it till it got so big to where it's out of control. And what was happening is that they were starting to believe their own lie until they said, you know what, we can't go too far off the rails with this one because what happens is it's starting to suck us up into a whirlpool of destruction. So we need to come back and give people some empowerment of truth, but we always want to be the ones to dictate it. So that just lets you see the groups that dictate these stories and lies, they're liars themselves. You see what I mean? They've been lying and study this. Manipulator, con artists, self-centered, egotistical people who have no care, low down, slimy type of individuals. You see what I mean? Just creeping around doing evil stuff to people. And then trying to promote this as this is a lifestyle and a mentality. But we know when rules and law come into play, they get shut down. That's why we don't have criminal activity running around rapid because the devil's a lie, right? He lies, right? The devil gets things going with criminal activity. He makes you believe that you can manifest things through doing criminal acts and you can reach a certain goal. Like I told my family member, I said, there's not one drug dealer you know to this day is successful in any community that can retire from drugs and can tell you that they're getting a pension from drugs and walk around safely here telling people that they sold drugs and that they own companies in doing so. Because it's a lie. It's a mythological thing that they created. It's a phallus fairy tale manipulative. It's a action packed story that people like to see. That's why they put it in movies to manipulate children, to manipulate adults too also. Because some adults they believe stupid stuff, which has not never been true, never been any proof of it, but they do so. They sell you this to you on multiple different occasions. They sell it to you in the movies. They sell it to you in entertainment. They sell it to you everything. They lie and use manipulation and everything. It's mythological. It doesn't exist. It's fake. It's all an act of play. It's something that's put together, screenplayed, screen written. It's everything is done in that course of calculation. They get a treatment for it, they put it together, they come up with a story, they do the same thing. Just like when it comes to entertainment. There's no one person in the entertainment industry that's better than everybody. That's why every year they bring another person and another person comes out within 5 years. Because after that person has been caught and everything about them is untruth and everything about them is broken down, what happens? They move on to another person. And they follow these people like mythological beings anyway. If you look at it like the way they follow Bigfoot, they follow celebrities around because it's people that they created and made into these images. And they want us to believe that these people have some true power or some status. Just like a Bigfoot or a false narrative, so called sea monster that has never been seen. There's no documentations from the Navy that they had to get into fights with sea monsters. There's no information that was given out by the Air Force that they had to bomb a Loch Ness monster and fight it. There's nothing nowhere, anywhere. So if they're able to make tons of money off of people, off of something that's stereotypically looked at as a child's illusion, and they've been doing it for over 30 plus years, this is why they were able to get away with so much fraud. This is why you see people so under their spell that they obey these people. This is why people will fall to celebrities and believe them, and the same celebrities that tell you to go get um, anything that these people put together. The same celebrities who was once against these people are now their best friend. That should let you see something. Whenever you're meeting a artist from the streets who promotes streets violence, and he's hanging out with company execs who don't have no violence on their record, and he's on a boat with them, and they're hugging his butt cheeks and his chest, and he's happy for it. That's how you can tell all the stuff is mythological lies and manipulation and is fake. It's a false narrative. These are false beings. These are not real people with power. These are false entities that they have made you believe have some type of aspect of knowledge or gifts or abilities when they don't have nothing at all. They're not teachers. They're not no person that's saving your life. And this is why I believe the society is somewhat collapsing very fastly and vaguely, because we are now starting to see that a lot of this is a lie, and they've been had the the tools to fix anything that they wanted to fix, and they purposely allowed things not to be fixed so they can bring us to this conclusion right here. And now that we're here and we're all able to see, because we're all standing woke, we're not sleeping in the bed anymore. We're starting to really realize that everything that they made up was a collection of make believe lies, mysteries, and manipulation. And it's masterminded by the biggest monster of all, the media, mankind, the creators of all drama, the creators of all chaos, the only entities that are here that nothing here needs. And if we're gone, everything will survive perfectly. But what I'm trying to state to you is that people have sat here for decades playing in your face, giving billions of dollars to mythological beings, entities that don't exist. They have played in your face, giving money to people who are not doctors, who are not lawyers, who have fake degrees, who have fake diplomas, who have faked all their information thus far, which we found out about all these medical students. We found out about most of these people cheating on tests, most of these people not even taking the test, having other people pay to take their test. I ain't never paid nobody to take my test for me. I just did it myself. So just letting you see, this has been going on for a very long time. There's been a lot of manipulation, maneuvering, miscalculating information, just mischievous type of individuals that have brought this atmosphere to a lightweight, chaotic atmosphere. It's not chaotic to where people are going crazy. It's to the point to where now you don't really too much believe what people are telling you. You have to do your own research, look into it, figure it out, um, look at it from different angles, then come with your own conclusion, because it's too many con artists out here. They don't tell the truth about nothing no more. They'll give you every story, low down story. They'll tell you that somebody did something and they handed it off to somebody. It's just so many. I'm gonna tell you a story right now. I was working at I just told my family member this at American Eagle, right? And one of their employees stole something from me, right? Now it's on video. They stole it, right? I'm a security guard, but the employees were stealing from the security. They were stealing from the company. They were letting their own friends come up there and steal. I watched one girl allow this man to walk out with a bunch of pans, and she stood right there. And then when I came to confront the male that already ran, she told me she didn't see nothing at all. But this is on video. They even had a video showing the gentleman still on the phone that was a site phone, along with the girl who stole my wallet. So what I'm trying to state to you is that these people sat there and lied on video with law enforcement. They sat there purposely in front of everybody and lying, and people sat there and supported them. So that's what I'm saying to you about this government being split and everything starting to happen, and us starting to really get a real true perception of how deep these lies, manipulation, these con artists, how many groups, how many people are involved, how many individuals participated in this. Is this a network thing? Is this a racial motivated thing? We're starting to find out it's all the above. It's a lie because they sat there with the police, and a police officer being one of the race nationalities of some of the females that are there. He sat there and he lied too. So let you see what type of environment you're living in. You see what I mean? So what I'm saying to you is that these people play for keeps in a way. They don't tell the truth. They're not honest. Everything they do is a lie. Question everything they do and speak up on everything you see. Don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to tell the truth. You see what I mean? Like, you have people that are literally dying for cities and towns. When these cities and towns treat them like ish, treat them like dog feces underneath their boot. And you're telling me you're willing to go to war with other people in that area for a city who has lied to you, gave you mythological creatures, fairy tales, took all your money, gave it to everybody else, kept information for all these years, stats, details, information, documentation, categories, studies of who's here and how many people and a demographic of people. And they can tell you every year the demographic of people, but you couldn't tell me that you lied to me and gave all the money that you owe me to mythological beings that don't exist, to people that are committing fraud that shouldn't have it, that shouldn't even exist here. How is this possible? It's like you know everything, but you don't know nothing. You don't see nothing. Like I stated to you, man, we supposedly have cameras that can see through walls, that can see people's X-rays. The 5G somehow can pick up your whole, I guess, outline of your body, but somehow they can't use the same technology to place it in forest to catch a Bigfoot monster. But somehow they're telling me that something exists way from another planet that they can't even get to. And they've been feeding me a fairy tale mythological lie about a being that they don't even know what it looks like. And they've been putting tons of money into researching something that has no evidence, no proof of nothing of existence. Just a joke, a lie. And um, I guarantee you, as the Most High is the King of heaven and earth, and the Messiah is the Son that I give the glory to, and I exalt and magnify his name through the Messiah, Heavenly Father Most High, King of all kings, Lord of all lords, that all this is a lie. That these mythological creatures don't exist. If they exist, it's something that they experimented and made. If they made, it ain't been a good one, because obviously they can't find the ones that they experimented and made on, and they probably died off because they can't survive and don't exist. And none of this stuff exists. Check this out. If any of these mythological creatures existed and aliens coming here, then we getting all our money, our 40 acres and a mule. Let's put it like that. Because none of these things don't exist. It's a fabrication. It's falsified. It's just like when you looking at a person that's running in Congress or a person that's running in government, they come with these lies, these mythological stories, these abilities that they did this. They were the first one in their class to get all A's. They passed all their courses. They got rid of drugs in their neighborhood. They did mythological lies. They're false fallacies. They have no proof of this. And then when they later on you find out that they're just lying. And then they, oh, I made a mistake. I just probably didn't do it. Let me go on to the next lie. That's how I look at these politicians. I look at them like the scientists and the government who keeps going off looking for Bigfoot, looking for the Loch Ness monster, wasting tons of money, looking for aliens, filling their pockets with full of bullshit, and just taking tons of money, and nothing has come of anything that they said. They have not gotten rid of drugs. Drugs are still here. They have not gotten rid of gangs. Gangs are still here. They have not gotten rid of the dark web. Dark web is still here. They have not gotten rid of human trafficking. Still here. Child pornography. Still here. They just told you mythological stories and lies about their legends and how they slayed and did this and that. They haven't done nothing. They never do nothing. And that's where we're at now. We know that they're nothing more but liars. That's all they have done is lead expeditions to nowhere. Have you ever seen when they're looking for these mommies and things of that nature in Egypt and all these type of places and Gilgamesh and blah, blah, blah? Okay, where is it at? How much money did you guys spend? How many billions did you guys spend to go take a trip to some Egypt place and dig up nothing? And we don't have no proof of what you're doing. We don't even know what you're doing. We don't even know what the money. That's why people say, oh, the president, I don't like this president. Check this out. I didn't vote for this man. I believe the Most High put him here for a purpose. And the purpose that he was put here for, to expose the fact that all these people are mythological liars. They've been lying so much that they finally met their match. Somebody who can battle them with the same energy. And what he has done, he has shown that the Smithsonian been getting money every year. All these other groups were getting money every year. We already paid these people out. They were lying to us. They were making up mythological numbers of crises that were happening, bombings that were going on, things that were going on. And then when they researched and all them things that they went into, these things were old. You know, remember when they were putting the videos of children from, I think it was like 2009 and 12, and they were using them during 2020. They were using them as if it was happening right now until somebody pointed out, hey, that's an old video, because I think somebody was in the video and they showed that it was an old video. So let you see, man, these people are manipulative. You see what I mean? Didn't they get caught recently saying that they went to the moon and they showed that it was nothing more but Arizona? The vast landscape of Arizona? Out in towards near Death Valley almost? So it just lets you see a lot of this is lies, bro. Excuse me. It's just that they learned how to manipulate and how to go to school to use manipulation, which is nothing more but Hollywood. Because we keep seeing the videos that keep getting caught with people that work for these agencies. And they have ropes around them and they're spinning around and they're supposed to be in space. And you see stuff in the background that don't even calculate up with space. You know, it's just, to me, it's just like it's so much unreal stuff happening. It's really, it's getting to the point to where it's just getting messy. It's like they're not even good at cleaning up. And when you look at these images, when people be saying, oh, that's a shapeshifter. That's not a shapeshifter, bro. That's them using AI. That's what you're seeing when you're seeing stuff glitch on TV and you're seeing people's faces look like creatures and stuff. No, that's because the whole time that person probably was never even there. That's nothing more but a program. Some of the events we seen, crisis actors. You guys don't remember that? Crisis actors. People that were acting in crisis who we thought were actually victims. And later on, we come to find out on the internet there's people being paid money to make us feel like something happened. And then we getting angry at other people that are other nationalities. And this stuff is all fake. And you going outside yelling at people from another country, they don't know what the hell you yelling about. We found out that the phones themselves can hear your conversations, right? And then now, whatever you're talking about or whatever you're looking up, they can now send you ads. So once again, everything is mythological, is made up, is created. These are nothing more but entities that they created, a system that they created, a mindset to where they created everybody to be involved with, so that way you can believe this bullcrap. And like I said, these people knew that all these people here were frauding. Believe me, these are the same people that are argue about um, showing you stats about the murder rate and who's being victimized and things. So if you had all this information and you knew all these stats and details, you can give me specific dates and times and who's what and who leads and this and that. That means you knew that these people were all stealing tons of money from the American taxpayers, and you knew that they was doing this, and you didn't even care because you just lied and you made up some type of falsified stat about some murder to get people to feel like something's going on so they can look over there while you and your friends steal all this money. It's mythological, bro. It's not real. These people make up stories, they make up things, they make up ideas, they make up creations. Okay? We had people out here once again in 2019 and 20 to 21 out here fighting over materials at Walmart when there was nothing going on at all. It was mythological. It was a mythological creature that was happening, that was taking everybody out. We know some people passed away, may they rest in peace, but the way they were making it was all falsified. They even said that some of the actual websites that they had up that were showing the calculation of people passing away was bullcrap. So let you see how mythological creatures and lies and mindsets can cause people to deter from what they're supposed to be doing, and the education and understanding they're supposed to really be having on a higher frequency is then dropped to a low vibration when the government experiments with people, when society experiments with people, and when people in our own country decide that we have become their enemy, to where they need to now manipulate us and to get us to believe a lie that there's aliens coming, which have not come yet. They keep talking about that damn Atlas, 3-eye Atlas. You ain't heard nothing about that thing since. You ain't heard nothing about an alien nowhere else. You ain't seen one. You ain't seen nothing. They claim, oh, the alien event happened in in um in Florida. I bet my life that was all bull crap. If that was real, I'll become as strong as Superman and be flying around this planet every day, regulating. It ain't gonna happen because it's all fake. That was all smoke and mirrors. That was all nothing more to promote stuff or to cause chaos or to cause theft. That was about as real as the Lives Matter group that got them facilities out in the Bay Area that they don't even use them for people of our nationality. They ain't got nothing for them kids over in that area. They got a whole facility for that Lives Matter group, and they got no training, no carpentry. They don't have no medical education facilities. They don't have no welding facilities. They don't have no mechanic facilities. They don't have nothing there for them. They don't even have nothing for kids after school. But yet and still, they made a mythological creature up for which a bunch of women that don't even like men, that's telling you that all lives matter, are collecting tons of money at a place where none of the money goes to anybody else's life but theirs. Go figure. It's supposed to have been, you feel me, BLACK lives. You feel me? It ended up changing and became a whole different act. And what do? They lied to the parents of those children that passed away and wouldn't even give them any money. Stole their identities and act like they were advocating for these children. So this is the same way I see here. This is an act. This is all mythological mindset. This is the mythological monsters manufacturing madness and mentally midget minded propaganda. That's what I see it as. It's BS. It ain't gonna grow no farther, no bigger. That's why they gotta keep revamping it every year. I wouldn't be surprised within the next few months they don't try to get celebrities to make you believe that some type of entities are coming from another place to get prepared. That they start paying them because they're dumb to do anything. They'll do anything for money. They have no souls. They're nothing more but actors playing in a mythological fake movie. And that we sometimes believe that these people have some best interests for us. They don't even give a damn. Anybody that'll tell you to go take a medication that they ain't even took their damn self and will cause you harm or your child harm, do you think they really truly care about you? Are they actually telling you the truth? Or are they just giving you a mythological lie, a make believe story, so they can sell it to you, so that way they can get some more money? Yeah, that's what I want to do on this show right now. I want to tell you about how people are here bringing false narratives to us on such a high level that it has become consumption for everybody. We actually believe that King Kong and all these people exist. No, they don't exist. Believe me. If they existed, they'll be running around here right now. Do you think the government will be able to stop something as big as King Kong running around here in the United States? No. They barely can find a Bigfoot. They barely can find a Loch Ness monster. They barely can find something that calls itself Mothman that floats like a moth with wings by his ass. Like, come on now. This is all mythological games, bro. It's all meant to control and to have a divisive empowerment over people. You see what I mean? This is all we're watching and all we're listening to, all we're seeing is them dictate everything. They're making up mythological stories, fairy tales, lies, stuff that they claim happened. That sometimes, even if you even look through history, you can't even find some of the stuff that they talk about that happened anywhere. It's been yet proof for certain groups, certain people that claim things that happen don't even exist. There's no evidence of it. But yet and still you'll see people getting tons of money. You'll see people receiving money for something that never happened. You'll see people coming here claiming that they're victims of a war crime and they never even came from a war. You'll see a person claiming asylum and ain't nobody looking for them. You see what I mean? Other countries don't allow you to come into their country seeking asylum for stupid stuff. America should be the same way. We need to see proof, information. We need to have a whole sit down with certain things that's going on. Because if you had people telling a false narrative, a fairy tale, a story that they were going around and giving hospice care to people, and it was all false narrative, fake, a fairy tale, how long have you guys been letting them do this? If you guys have all these stats and information and details, you can give descriptions of where the highest crime rate is and things of this nature. How come you didn't know about that crime? What over $1 billion wasn't too high for you? They need to steal more money. They need to steal trillions of dollars. Let's stop with this make believe cap, bro. There's so many people here doing so much here. It's crazy that they don't even know how to control the crazy that they created. You see what I mean? The mythological lies that they want you to believe that they control everything here when they don't control nothing at all. Because if they can control everything and they knew everything, none of this stuff would be happening. Because that would show incompetence on you. And if you're working for a company, you don't want to be incompetent. As a man, you don't want to say you have a business and back your brand, and now your brand is like an incompetent, goofy ass business, and all you're doing is running around here letting people just steal tons of money out of your pocket, and you so dumb you can't even calculate that. But you're over here arguing with the people who work for your company, trying to tell them about how violence is in their community. When people are coming here that are a million times more violent than them, that are bringing drugs, that you're allowing to come in under a false pretense, under a false narrative, and you made up a mythological story for somebody that never even happened. And then somehow down the road, when you're caught, all of a sudden you got all these stats and information and details, and you got qualifications, and you know people's. If you were so smart, you know all this. Why do you know all these people came here with fake degrees? Why do you know all these people were frauding here the whole time with fake information? See, you can't be smart and be stupid at the same time. It doesn't make sense. That's why either you're stupid or you're smart. Either you're smart or you're stupid. You can't be smart stupid, and you can't be stupid smart. Because it wouldn't add up. That's why the two words separate from each other. They're their own word. So what I'm trying to state to you in a nutshell is that this is all BS. We have had people come here and people told us that they have made breakthroughs. I haven't seen not one breakthrough for nothing here. I haven't seen that one breakthrough when it comes to cell phones. I haven't seen that one breakthrough when it comes to medication. I haven't seen that one breakthrough when it comes to anything here in this country. That you're telling me that somebody had to come here and help us out with. What did they help us out with? Please show it to me. Because I don't believe it now. I haven't seen no medication that can cure cancer. Zero. Nothing. So if you brought people here on a visa and said they was doing so, that ain't happened. There's nothing to cure AIDS. Zero. That ain't happened. Nothing. They barely got stuff. They can't even cure the common cold. They can't do anything. So how is somebody that keeps giving you mythological fairy tale people that don't exist, putting people in front of you that lie with fairy tales, have a whole industry full of fairy tales, put together a whole country based off of false narratives and fairy tales, and then now somehow they have all the obligation and information for interstellar communications. But yet and still they have crackhead people that came from third world countries that don't even have toilets that don't even have buildings that work properly, don't even have none of these things that came all the way from another place here, was broke where they were at, but came here and all of a sudden now have all this information that's saving everybody's lives. But none of it can manifest anywhere in this country. They can't get rid of drugs. No, but they got information to save lives. They can't save lives at the hospital. No, because they don't have no information. They barely even know what they're doing, period. So that's why I said to you, we have been played with for so long that now it's really starting to come to a end. It's like people are tired of seeing the same BS, the same make believe stuff, the same stuff that's not going nowhere. It's like nothing. It's a joke. You see, and that's why I told my relative, I said, the reason why they took out all the companies in the inner city areas, they took away the jobs in the inner city areas, they did all this so that way they can promote things that are mythological, that are fake. See, the first mythological thing that they're trying to promote is that every black person can be an entertainer and singer and dancer. We know that's not true. That's mythological. Everybody's not going to make that. And they promote, oh, all the kids going to be able to play sports and become rich. We know that's not true. Out of 100 kids, only 60% make it. And then when the 60% even get to that point, only out of that 60%, only about 30 or 40% out of those 60 even make it. So what I'm saying to you, they created a false narrative, mythological beings. They created mythological stories. They gave you a false narrative. They took everything away from you because they wanted to dictate it. Remember, they're coming with these false stories. Then they put out a false narrative that you're only good for only certain things, which we know found out that it's all lie because there's multiple people that have been inventors that look like me that had contributed and give catastrophic inventions or ideas that have benefited the whole world from this place that look like me. But yet and still, these people have stripped down everything in these inner city communities to give you false narratives, misbelief, lies, to give you people that give mythological creatures and lies and stories and promote things that are just false and fake and don't even exist and got you paying into it and going along with it while they live a prominent life and you have to struggle because of their lies and the time that they wasted throughout the society. Just think about it. Think about all these years that they wasted with all these drugs and all these things that they did. Think about all these people that did this hospice fraud, that did all this PPP loan fraud, that did all this unemployment fraud, that did all this government fraud, food stamp fraud, lying about their identity fraud. These people already knew about it. But yet and still, they came to your neighborhood and stripped everything out of it. And then made deals with entertainers to give you another false narrative, another mythological story, a lie, a make believe, a fake. Nothing that has no type of you can't get nothing from that. Somebody giving you false narrative information, false details, and then has promoted nothing but destruction in your communities with false narratives. Because when you live in these impoverished communities, people come around doing sideshows all night, right? There's no law enforcement to come by those communities to stop it. But see, what happened was when the narrative starts reaching outside of that community, and now they're going to other communities, now you start to see the true fakeness of everybody that was involved with it. Because they were allowing it to go on. Believe me, If I get 100 people that look like me right now and go outside and bring my car and start doing a sideshow, do you know how many law enforcement will show up? So let me see. A lot of this is manipulation, lies, control. It's just a lot of false narratives that they give to people to cultivate and captivate them. Is to find a formula of masterminding and manipulation so they can be the collective leaders of it and then have us lost in a storm. Why outside of that storm is only about 4 feet. It's beautiful and sunny. And what's creating a storm is a machine that they brought right next to you that they're telling you is for the embetterment of um your body, and it's causing all kind of chaos to your community, poverty, floods, mental disabilities, um, physical disabilities. But yet and still, you believe what they're giving you is of value because some celebrity told you this, and you're not aware of these mythological creatures and beings that they create and make up, stories they make up, lies they make up, fake, false narratives that they create. Remember, the first biggest mythological story was that every person that looks like me was hard to control, hard to contain, were very angry, were on drugs, only wanted to do crime, and created crime and brought poverty to every neighborhood they moved into. We found out that was all a lie. You see what I mean? So they made a myth, a mythological story up, a narrative, a false motive, the same way that they'll make a Bigfoot up, the same way they'll make up a Loch Ness monster, the same way they'll make up a champ, they'll make up a Mothman. It's mythological stories they make up about people. They create stories about people being a drug dealer, a gangster, this or that, when all this stuff exists everywhere. But what they done, they created you to be the most evilest, baddest, meanest, destructive person, and you live in poverty with no money. But somehow, your presence is going to bring all destruction to everybody that brought destruction here already. I mean, fentanyl didn't come from America. Opioids didn't come from America. Methamphetamine wasn't made in America. Shoot, cocaine don't even originate from America. But yet and still, the narrative and the false mythological saying is that if you go to an area full of certain people that look like this demographic, you'll see violence, drugs, you can get all these type of things from them. Somehow, the same people that live in an impoverished area that don't have any type of skills to fly an airplane, cannot charter a large boat, cannot do any of these things and take any government grade type of vehicles anywhere and not even allowed to do so, somehow are responsible for all of the crime and drugs in the country, which is mythological. It's fake, it's a false narrative. You can go to college right now and find tons of people that look like me in college. You can go to the historical black college, and find them right now dancing and doing everything else positive. You can go to multiple places and find people doing positive activities. The narrative they give you is an artist, but remember, the artist works for them at a label that they create. And what they create there, a mythological play, a fairy tale, a story, a costume, effects that all of the artists that come through them get to personify their whole imagery. And people can see this. The same industry and the same people in these cities that they run that don't care nothing about how you look or your origin and don't even like your people, but you yourself are willing to harm somebody for a street or area that you don't even own for a mythological lie, story, make believe, false narrative that they created about you being a vicious, psychotic person like a cannibal that can't be controlled and makes you upset because somebody lied on you, right? So why are we not upset at all these lies that they've done for this whole time when it comes to all this fraud? Why are we not upset and have the same energy for these celebrities who've been involved with human trafficking and children coming up missing? Why we don't have the same energy for these government officials who have lied and told us fairy tales and signed off on make believe projects that have never happened? Remember? They were going to build some housing over here. Make believe never happened. What happened to the money? Disappeared. It was mythological. It was, it was an alien. It's, they have so many stories. We have a governor here in my state that lost $24 billion. Make it make sense. You see what I mean? Lied to us. Told us that he was putting the money away for homelessness and people that are low income and lied. Mythological story. Does it repeatedly all the time. People in his cabinet was linked to the people that were in Oakland with that mayor that was stealing the money. All the people in his cabinet were involved. Matter of fact, one of the people was related to her. They have car shops, tow companies. They seized property. They took funding from children that were supposed to receive these monies. And this is going on in every city and every state. Multiple people have lied and given us false narratives, false stories, false storylines, fairy tales, stuff that has not come to fruition, nothing. Just bullcrap, make believe lies for years and years and years and years. And somehow you're trying to tell me that these people are more intelligent than anybody. And that the people that they're bringing here have so much intelligence that they can't solve nothing. Why would you bring somebody to a place that can't solve anything when there's already problems there? And there's no income barely. But they're there doing what? If there's no income, no money, why do we keep getting people coming here to America? Just think about that. If the economy is crashing, a lot of the states are losing companies. That means there's not going to be a lot of jobs there. So why are we still letting people in if we owe all this money? Why do they still have money set away for asylum seekers? Why do they still have money set away for victims of war crime? Why do they still have money set away for all this stuff that's going on for people to come here if it's so much destruction and poverty here? Remember, we have the highest amount of drug overdoses, drug addicts outside, cases of STDs, HIV, child molestation, child human trafficking, the dark web, tons of gangs and drug dealers. If all these things are the main priority to get rid of, why are they still letting people in here if they haven't cleaned any of that up? Why? What is the story behind that? Is it another mythological make-believe lie? Is it another mythological make-believe story time? Are they giving people the false narrative that they're going to win something here that nobody else hasn't won? You see what I mean? So that lets me see that they can give the same thing that they give to anybody else to everybody. So why have they been lying the whole time? If they had all this to give to all these people for all these years who committed fraud and lied and stole, why didn't they have that same energy, that same money, that same investment, that same time to give to us when everything was going good? Why did you wait for so long for all this to happen? Because I believe it's a bigger narrative going on. I believe it's a lie. And I believe just like Three Eye Atlas or whatever the hell it is, or Space Atlas or Space, whatever the hell this thing is, or Bigfoot or Loch Ness Monster or Champ or Mothman or any of these things is all lies. It's all make believe. It's nothing more but them controlling the narrative. That's why I brought up 2020 and 2021 when they told you to go vax that ass up. Remember? As you can see from that whole trickling down event, that whole snowball event, what has happened since? You see how I mean? Like, we are so weak now, we believe the lies and just allow them to lie. Why is that? Everybody keep telling me they stand on business. They ain't fearing nothing. They don't fear nothing at all. They don't this blah, blah, blah. The God and them blah, blah, blah. Why are you letting them do all this in front of your face? Why are you still working if everything they did was a lie? You see what I mean? So are we just living a lie? Are we just comfortable with people telling us mythological stories and lies and lying to us right to our face? Is this why we're so comfortable with the destruction of our own country? With fraud? With human trafficking? With child pornography? With the dark web? With drugs? With gangs? This why we're so comfortable with believing the lie? This why as a people we're comfortable believing the lie, that we believe that people feel like we have no value? That we allow them just to take, but only a few of us can get it? What happens when a few of us get cut off? What happens then? Will the same people want to now expose the lie? Now will they want to go against the government when they get their stuff cut off? See what I mean? See how this game is played? They use so many different little false angles to intrude in on. And then what they do with those false angles, they create a reason and a narrative why they had to do it. And then us being under this spell, we just don't want to wake up from it. We don't want to believe that they're doing this to us. You want to keep acting like these people have our best interests at hand when they don't. They do not have our best interests at hand. They do not care. Okay? And that's why, like I stated to you, my Rose Room discussion, this is why I speak on these things. I have to. Because I'm just to the point to where it makes no logical sense to where somebody can give $1 billion to someone who has no proof of nothing and has not created anything and can't even bring you nothing of any true existence from a story that they told you, and you provided them with all this income, all this money, all this empowerment, and they just waste it on nothing. Nothing at all. Zero, zilch. And then when we find out that they didn't stole all the money and bought drugs and helped out drugs and stuff like that, now you want to come out and tell me that, you know everything. If you knew everything, you should have known from the beginning. If you can see all the way to a futuristic planet, you already know what's going on here. So that's what I'm saying to you. You got to stop with this bullshit lie. We know what's going on. We all know, like, for instance, I had to go to Kaiser Permanente in Vallejo. This is when I got injured. I had to go there over, I say 30, almost 40 times. I had to go to the emergency. I have to let these doctors know because they're very idiotic there. A lot of them, to me, I don't even know if their degrees are even real. Okay? Because once again, these are a lot of people that came from a lot of places and they didn't even have no background and they just was put on there to work and they didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. No disrespect, excuse my French. I had to diagnose myself. Now, mind you, this I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school to get an education in medical science. I have no information on that. That's why we go to a doctor because they're supposed to diagnose you. It's not the other way around. You as a patient, you're supposed to come there because you know what you got. No, I can't go there and tell them what I got. They give me the information for it. They just go off of my word. No, it's bull crap. That's what I'm trying to state to you. It's a lie. We have medical facilities where doctors work and they don't even do their jobs. They're just lying. They're just getting paid to come to a place where they don't even care about the patients themselves. We've seen multiple people fall out. And then we come to find out now in 2026, after they did all these audits, that a lot of these people that were in medical facility schools, they didn't even go to the right schools. Some of them went through programs who gave them certificates. Some of them ordered certificates from colleges overseas who don't even really exist and don't even teach that type of medical, um, you know, information. They don't even have that on any of their scheduled school courses. So it's letting you see. Are we just comfortable with people just lying to us in our face and we just believe the BS? Is this what we have here in America? That this is just the norm? Because when does it get out of control? When they start kidnapping your kid and lying to you and telling you that the kid wasn't nowhere around? Excuse me. When they start doing that, when does it get to a problem? When they just start taking all your money from your bank account, when does it get to a problem? When they tell you that you don't live here and just kick you out? You see, them like what I'm trying to state to you is here in America, people tend to think things don't affect them in the whole, right? But like I said, when they started this whole lie, this whole mythological entities, these whole false theories, these false narratives, when they start creating these type of informative make believe information, they already created a snowball effect to where we're at right now. And this is the whole reason why you don't go around lying and playing games. You don't go around wasting people's time. You don't go around entertaining people with false narratives and false information claim that you can give to them when you know damn well you ain't even got it. So what I'm saying to you is that they have been doing this for so long, and so many people that are cowardly and weak have allowed it that they want us all to accept this. They want us all to accept destruction, chaos, drugs, poverty, crime, all these things. They want us to accept it with lies. And remember, the father of lies is the devil, right? So this is why we get to this point that we believe that these are entities in higher places, are entities who run this place that are nothing more but liars, demonic entities, unclean spirits, unclean people, people who don't have a connection with the creator of all existence. They don't have the embetterment in their hearts for mankind as a whole. They don't care about nothing. They don't even care about themselves or their own kids. This is why I believe this is why we're here right now. Because of lies. Little lies that just kept building up and being created. And America, this is what happened. They lied to us and told us that they didn't have no money for us, which was a lie. Because if they didn't have no money for us, what the hell were they doing giving all our money to all these terrorist organizations, all these groups, and all these people that are funding human trafficking, the dark web, child pornography? Why would they give them all this money? $200 billion. Why would they give them $200 billion all these years? and allow them to do all this. And these are the same people you believe they're talking to interstellar species from another planet. Just think about this. If any galactic intelligent entity was roaming the galaxies, they would never do no business with nothing here. Because if they're beyond us and they have a intelligence that got them and guided them through multiple different galaxies to get here, I believe they wouldn't waste their time with ignorant liars and manipulators that can't produce nothing but lies and theft from what they stole from other people. And that's what this society is about to me. Because, like I keep stating to you, they have not produced anything that is of significance that I see that is of any value to help mankind. Thank you. Period. Thus far here. Nothing. I haven't seen no cure for cancer. Nowhere. I haven't seen no cure for AIDS. Nowhere. I haven't seen no cure for the common cold permanently to get rid of it. Nowhere. So if people are going to sell you medications telling you that these things can get rid of stuff, and these things are still around, and the cold is still around, they're lying to you. Meaning that if this thing still exists, a cold, that means that none of the stuff that they're selling you can get rid of it. And if you're still in this position you're in, that means all the stuff that they've been telling you is a lie. They can't really get you out of it because they don't even know how to get out of it their damn self. You got to really think about this. Let's be truly honest. If the world is going to flood and all these problems are going to come, why would you put yourself in a tomb in the ground where it can flood with water? Why would you hide in a mountain area when water will fly faster into those type of areas and will flood? See what I mean? What I'm trying to tell you is that there's a lot of manipulation being placed here. I'm not saying people don't know how to do the basics, which everybody can learn the basics. I'm talking about when it comes to all this information and knowledge that they claim that they have, it's cap. I'm not believing it. I will never believe it because it's been a lie. I've been here on this planet for this long. I haven't seen it manifest nothing. Only thing that people are here good at doing in the society is stealing, taking, lying, and harming each other. Other than that, I haven't seen no true purpose of anything that is forthcoming of them being actually 100% truthful with it. Nothing. Everything has some type of something connected to it. It's some stories, some lies, some exaggeration, some make believe mythological things, some false narrative, something that's either simple to solve or is BS that they're pretty much building up for suspense of nothing to waste people's time and money. And that's what I'm focusing on this Rose Room Discussion podcast show. I'm saying to you that we have had the wool pull over our eyes for a long time. I'm talking about for decades. And people are just now waking up. And some people, they still believe it's aliens. And I'm challenging them like this. If aliens exist, this is to any and everybody on this whole entire planet, then I should wake up within this time period and see reparations in my account. Please prove me wrong. Because I would love to see these aliens or these beings or this Bigfoot or any of these things that they claim that exist. And for one, you'll never see them, even though we have 4K cameras and 5K cameras and so forth and so on. But somehow they can never catch these entities. Like these entities are way beyond. Like I said, once again, Bigfoot has no airplane, no craft, no ship, no nothing. He doesn't even have shoes on his feet. But yet and still, he can outmaneuver all of the mechanisms and intelligence here in this society in the 21st century. He can just maneuver everything, all the findings, all the mathematical, equations. He can maneuver through all that, and you can't never find him. But now you want to tell me that a big head alien from a planet that has no genitals, that can't reproduce, but somehow they come in numbers, with large, very big eyes, that only abduct certain colored people and play with their behind areas. Once again, this is mythological, bro. This is all fake. It's make believe. Right there, that should let you know. I said this before too. I said, out of all people rear ends, wouldn't you go to the mother of civilization if you were an alien from an community? Interstellar community, meaning that you came from a galactic universe way off, and you have so much intelligence and information that you can figure out who is the original, who is not, who has better DNA, who has everything. Why would aliens be so unintelligent to where they'll come down and only kidnap a certain group of people that are Caucasian only? Why there's no movies of multiple Chinese people telling you they got abducted? Why there's no movies with multiple Portuguese people telling you they got abducted? Why is there's no movies with multiple Russian people telling you they got abducted? Why is there's no movies anywhere with multiple people, multiple groups telling you they've been abducted? Because it don't exist. It didn't really get no traction until here in the United States where it got traction. The same place that has mythological creatures, that has Hollywood, that has all this stuff going on, that lies to you about everything. Somehow was the first ones to see aliens. And remember, the Chinese invented math along with the Africans, because we know some Chinese people originated from Africa, because remember, Africa is the mother of all civilizations, right? Just like multiple other groups came from Africans. But once again, with all the stuff going on in Africa, why isn't there groups of Africans and different tribes telling you that aliens keep coming after them? Never heard about it. I don't hear a lot of Cuban people telling me that there's aliens coming after them. No. I don't hear a lot of people saying this. So once again, another mythological, false, false make believe narrative story is fake. And people love this fake, chaotic, uh, catastrophic conducting of events. They get off on it for some reason. It's like, what does the rapper say? America got a thing for this gangster ish. You see what I mean? Like, that's why we have so many entertainers promoting gangster activity, and so many companies here within America that are music companies that's supposed to be promoting music. They're looking for an image to promote along with the music. Why is that? Who created the narrative of gangsters? Who put that in every movie? They told you they existed. For what purpose? Why? You see what I mean? They said that they existed through history, right? And they tell you that, oh, the first gangs were here and the first this and that. And we don't really know if that shit is true. We don't 100% know if that's really 100% facts. Remember, these are the same people that didn't even tell you that they flooded black towns. These are the same people that want you to believe that slavery and racism and all these other things didn't exist. These are the same people who want you to believe that they didn't create the homosexual agenda. You see what I mean? Because that's in every school, every office, every government facility, everywhere. Something to represent that. Why is that? Who's pushing that narrative? Who brought that to us that that was actual a real lifestyle? Who said this was the best lifestyle in life? Who created this? Who pushed this in Hollywood? Who brought these false narratives telling us that people in the Bible were this and that, but there's no proof of it nowhere? There's no grave you can bring up of any Bible prophets, and you can show me two men sleeping in the same gravesite. There's no two women you can find anywhere in any country sleeping in the same gravesite. That was a couple. Who brought this fake, false narrative to us? This imaginary concept? Them. And you see how that's working out? You see what I mean? See how it's all going up in arms? People are battling back and forth. They don't even believe that lie. So that's what I'm saying to you. There's a lot of manipulative, lying people here. They don't tell you the truth about nothing. They give you these false narratives, this false insight, this false details, and then what they do, they build around that. Just like a movie, a story, a TV show, a documentary, a documentation, a treatment that's written out for play or whatever it is that you want to do. They create it here. And that's what I'm trying to state to you. I'm trying to tie all this up in a nutshell to tell you that the majority of stuff that they're promoting to you here is a false narrative. It's not under any true pretext that it really truly exists. It's put together by them, for them, and they dictate everything. Like I was saying to you, back in the days, when it came to certain things, we had to approve of it. Okay, now that we are not the approvers of everything, the narrative has changed to where now they're dictating and approving of what we are, who we are, how we represent ourselves, who we are as a being within ourselves, and how we should talk and conduct ourselves. This is all their ideology, a thought process of thinking. They have created this thing to where now they are the ones that can dictate, which is not no one's real true job. The Most High is supposed to give you ability and a gift, and you're supposed to go off and utilize it and help out as many people and do what you're supposed to do with that gift. When did one group or one race oversee over the Most High and now dictate what everybody needs to get? When did this become the actual fact? When did everybody just start saying that, oh, this one group doesn't need to exist because we decided this. But where we're at, we can't even fix where we're at. So just think about that. If a person can't fix where they're at, how are they going to migrate over to where you're at, telling you about your group, but within their own place, they can't even fix that? You see what I mean? They're giving you a false narrative. They're making up a fake, manipulative lie storyline. They're giving you all these weak points, and they're talking about they have data and information and all this stuff. But if they had all this information and data and information and details, why they couldn't use this same stuff where they were at already and build that up to the highest stature of what it's supposed to be? Like, you got to keep asking yourself that. If I'm on the left, they're on the right. They have the same materials I have. They have the same, and there's more of them, and they all speak the same group language. Why couldn't they build over there with that language in that group? Why do they need to come where I'm at, where I don't speak none of their language? I don't have nothing in common with them. And they need to get what I'm getting in order to now tell me what I need to do in a place that they needed to come to and get help from. Just think about that. A place you needed to come to and get help from. You're now trying to tell the people that are already there, who already established, who already worked, who already went through everything, who already did the scratching of the surface, of getting down to the nitty and the gritty, you know, of going hard, and of pretty much using the hand, you feel me, nails, just putting in the work. You're telling me now that these people have done all the work, built everything, and now you're going to come after they build everything and then tell them that you know better how to do things, to which you were already in an area with people that look like you, and y'all all the same, but y'all couldn't do nothing there until you came to where these people are at. See what I'm saying to you? A false narrative, a false lie, a false projection, just everything is false. You got to really see this for what it really truly is. Because if you don't wake up in time, you're going to be lost in the sauce. And what lost in the sauce to me is, you keep giving people their props when they ain't did ish to get any props. Meaning, if I'm doing the work over here and somebody else comes along who hasn't done no work but has on the clothes that look like they work, something is wrong, because that sounds like a scammer or a schemer. That sounds like somebody that already came from an impoverished area and that's looking to lie and steal and manipulate. It don't seem like a person that stands on business and that's honest to me. Because if you're honest, you would come and say, you know what? I have no skills, no information. I'm here to learn. I'm here to work. That makes sense. Now, if you come over to me telling me you have skills, you have knowledge, you have all this, and you get to that place and you have none of those things at all, you sold me a lie. You gave me a false narrative, a false story, a make believe. It's like you're the make believe character like Bigfoot. You don't exist really, truly. And none of the stuff you tell me about you have done has never happened. This has been going on a lot here. And I'm just, like I said to you, I'm just very disappointed in this country of how they know so much but don't know anything, but want to tell me everything on every device and social media platform. I believe a law should be passed to where, if anything you're saying is not true, your company should be discontinued. Your whole personality should be reevaluated by society, and you should be removed from society until you can come correct. I truly believe that. I believe a lot of people should be really watched to see everything that they're doing is 100%. You see what I mean? Because I believe that a lot of these people are just sent here to be liars and manipulators, and they're lazy and they're weak and they don't really truly work for nothing. And they come and they manipulate and use these different little tactics to make it seem like they're doing something. But if we were to get into a competition and say, hey, I want to have 10 men of this nationality, 10 men of that nationality, 10 men of that, and 10 men of that, it would completely change the whole narrative in society. If we were to put everybody in the same place to work equal time and equal work, you would see different. Then you will start to see that the real true personalities of a lot of people would come out. A lot of people would not show up. I said this because I've been going to school, right? And you get money to go to school. But what I noticed is that there's a lot of students that don't even come to class. And somehow they're able to pass the class under some type of false narrative or false imagery or false something that they have connected with this teacher. And the teacher just giving them this based upon what they look like, which is the same thing as somebody giving uh, a archaeologist money to go study something that we don't even know what the hell he's studying, and they're given a fund by some government organization to go look after the ferrymen, and we nothing comes out of it. Just a waste of money. And that's what I'm saying to you, that there's nothing to come truly out of America that impacts any of these people from committing any type of criminal activity. And that's why I believe like it's just it's ignorance being promoted. And people allow it because they want to keep this society collapsing. And the way it's going to collapse, if we keep believing these fairy tale lies and stories and make believe things that don't exist. And one of the biggest lies and fairy tale stories that I see is that when people are coming from other places, they're contributing to build this country. No, they're not. No, they're not. If people were coming here to build this place and this place was built up, why do we have so many problems with our bridges, our land, our roads, our infrastructures, our living environments, or anything of this nature? No, we don't. We barely have teachers. We barely have all these things. What is any of this going to actually do for us if you keep bringing people that are doing nothing but scams and schemes and lies, and you keep trying to bring some type of false narrative that they're improving the area? And I keep asking you, show me what they improved, but you can never display anything to me. You just keep giving me these false little stories, these tall tales, and he's a doctor and he has a BA degree and he knows about this. Okay, if he's a doctor and he has a BA degree, why, when he was in his place of origins, he couldn't cure nobody there? Oh, because they didn't have enough funding and money. And okay, so what you're telling me, that they were broke where they were at, they had to come here, they made up a false narrative story, got over here, and then the person now is so lazy he can't go back and go cure with all the information and the funding that he gets from here and work. Something's not adding up, bro. It's all lies, bro. A lot of these individuals are here, don't have no skills, no ability, nothing at all. It's just all cap. And they've been sent here to drain the society. And they come here to do nothing. I can't tell you, every time I go to school or go to work, when I look around, I look and I'll see most of these motherfuckers ain't doing nothing. Now you're trying to figure to myself, what is this really truly here for? Why this group is just hanging out and they getting tons of money, and where's this fucking money coming from? If we keep getting all these problems that we can't do this, we can't take care of this, we can't fund this, we can't. Okay, if you can't fund this, then get rid of all these individuals up over here just hanging out. Because what are you funding them for? They're not going to work. They're not going to school. They don't have no jobs. Who's paying for all this? If I got to go to school, go to work, why? What is going on here? You see what I mean? And that's what we're looking at, the false information that's given out. That, oh, we don't have no money. Oh, we ran out of money. Oh, the budget may cause problems to the city and county or the state. Well, look, nothing has changed. Have you seen anything happen catastrophic to where they can't do certain things? No. They're lying to you. And they've been lying to you for a long time. And I think you should get very, very, very in tune with what's going on, and we want to challenge them and ask them questions. Because this is your right as an American. As an American citizen, you're supposed to be able to question your government. You're supposed to inquire information about your legal rights, and their job is to do so. It's to entertain you. It's not to avoid you, or to mislead you, or to shun you away, or to cause chaos to where they don't engage with you back and forth. That's why you have a platform you can speak on, a podcast. You see, I can't go to every a downtown event and talk to these people, which I've been to the city and county. I've been to the local mayor's office before. I've been to multiple ones. I've even sat down and talked with a mayor. What I'm trying to state to you is that you can do all these things. These people are programmed and paid to do certain things. They will entertain you, they will listen to you, but at this point in time, like I said to you, there's a lot of untrustworthiness in society right now. And the only way we're going to be able to get rid of this bull crap is we got to dismantle this whole machine and we got to get better parts. We got to get rid of these parts that's old, that been sitting here, that are rusted. We got to get rid of these parts that are not even working with other parts. We got to get rid of a lot of stuff. We got to do a whole renewal. We got to basically do what we call an audit. And we got to get rid of and point out a lot of things. And you got to point out, where is this missing stuff? Where is this stuff at that you claim that existed? Where is it? Because we can't keep doing this every year to where we're going to just keep allowing these people just to keep lying and bringing people along. And then, they come along and they're bringing dope here and they didn't have no money 17 years ago when the country was balling out of control. Or we didn't have no money and nothing like that. And all of a sudden now we got the money 17 years later to give all these people, to give them beds and to give them rehabilitation programs. We couldn't give it 18 years ago when we had tons of money. We can easily get rid of these things. But now, moving fast forward, after we done told y'all multiple times we don't have the money, we can give it to all these other people to bring more problems and chaos, destruction, and confusion here. And yes, I do sound like this because it needs to be brought up. Because you can't keep lying to people and keep saying that something is not there and you keep lying. Somebody's going to question, they're going to see your hand, they're going to see that you're a liar. It's just like I said, it's been a lie. It's been a big lie. We have so many people here that has been doing so much lies and racial movements, theft, and all this time these people knew about it, but they sat here wanted to be judge and jury over everybody else's life while they stole everything like a punk. They didn't work for it. They didn't do no work. They didn't even participate in doing any work. They just came here like a coward and stole something. So please make that make sense. How somebody can come and steal something and don't have the ability to earn it and work for it, and then try to tell you that it's theirs. And you sitting here looking at them knowing damn well that belongs to you and it's not theirs. And your initials is all over it. But that's what I'm saying to you, bro. That's how I'm moving in life. I don't care no more about what people think about me or think outside of that because I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm not here to go against a president because I'm looking at all the years all these presidents were in office and how all of them allow these people to do this type of stuff in front of them. And how we get to this point now, all of a sudden I need to worry about this one man like he's been the problem. No. This has been a problem going on here for a long time. And there's a lot of groups of people that have come here with this same ideology. And my theory is, like I said, they've been bringing these tall tales, these lies. And they've been pretty much eating and utilizing everything we have. And we got to a point now to where it's time to ask them, hey, can you show and prove of anything that you brought here that you claim that was better and a significant to help out society? And you catching, they ain't brought shit. No disrespect. They ain't bring nothing. They ain't helped out nothing here. Zero. They created more laws to protect them to do theft. As you can see, most of these laws that are made to protect certain groups after they get caught involved in criminal activities, that's what it is. It's created to protect theft, them from being processed of doing theft, them from being processed of creating more criminal activity. When people came from that place and they brought all that fentanyl and all that stuff, you seen people were attacking, right? But the same thing was that the people who took advantage of that are the ones who were bringing the drugs here the most. You see what I mean? So they were getting protected by these laws. So as we can see now, when the gentleman exposed everything that was going on here in the state of California, they're trying to make that law to block him. But the same people who are making that law, they're all involved with theft. They're all involved with the missing $24 billion. They're involved with all of these nonprofits here in California who were stealing money. They pretty much wrote these businesses checks. Okay. They were involved with the hospice in Southern California stealing money. So they wrote all these people off. Okay, they wrote them off not in that point to where they wrote them off like they didn't pay no attention to them. No, they wrote them off in the fact that where they wrote them off larger lump sums of money, checks to get them established. There's no coincidence that them people bought that old motel, and that motel had over 70 or 80 rooms, and all them rooms was being operated as a hospice or some type of medical care that didn't even take place. And remember, that place been around for 15 years, they said. 15 years. So if they were taking 39 million per year, just calculate that up. Every year, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39. That's crazy. That's crazy. $39 million per year. And look at how they're trying to make this man be removed. They're trying to make up a mythological lie and state that somehow you cannot tell on a business. Now, just let me show you how this works. If I'm a woman and I work for a business and I want to be a whistleblower on that business because I found one of the main supervisors exchanging naked photos or images of my female coworkers in a private locker that's placed at that place, and I want to be a whistleblower on him and tell people that he's been doing this to over 50 different women, and we caught this, and he needs to go to jail, and that company has known about it, and now they want to pass a law to protect that. Just let that sit in. Who in the living right mind would want to protect somebody who took advantage of 50 some women naked and sharing their photos all over the world to cause these women problems? So that's what I'm saying to you. America has a responsibility, and the responsibility is to stop with the fucking lying to people. That's one of the main responsibilities, to stop lying. You see what I mean? Because when you stop doing that, you can now start to understand the rhyme and the reason for a lot of different things and why they're taking place here. If you keep lying, it's hard to differentiate a person's truth from a lie if so many people are manipulating. And like I stated to you, this is what they're doing to that gentleman. This is what they're going to be doing to women. Pretty soon, it may even happen to a child at school. What happens if your child works at a school after school? She's so good and gifted and talented to where she works after school program to help other kids that need help. And we come to find out that one of the teachers that she's whistleblowing on has been molesting a group of young girls. And nobody can believe them because there's a law blocking them from being whistleblowers or telling anything. No, from your daughter telling anything. So what I'm trying to state to you is that these people are even prepared to create narratives to pretty much guard their false verification of events, stories, manipulation, criminal activities. They're willing to do anything to just protect them being thieves and liars. And that's the problem. We keep protecting people that are doing out of pocket stuff to people and causing us more catastrophic events and issues to pretty much cripple our lives and our society. You see what I mean? Right now in California, the gas stations are charging a high rate of money for gas, right? But if you look behind that narrative, who's behind it? Who's going to get more of a push up when it comes to wealth? The company owners, right? Who's promoting all these high prices? The governments within those cities and states. Who receives the kickback? Them. They tell us every year, oh, these companies going to shut down, they're going to leave, and the company's still there. You see what I mean? What I'm trying to state to you, there's so many stories of, oh, we're going to go to world war, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Nothing has happened. Like I said, I have seen not yet to see a Bigfoot, uh, a Loch Ness monster come out of the ocean. I haven't seen none of these things have happened. There's no aliens, three-eye atlas coming down. There's nothing happening. These are all lies. All this stuff is to have a control narrative around you. And they like to control everything. They want to dictate everything to everyone, to every person on what to think, feel, sleep, how to move, how to maneuver, who they should be with. This is why they're also interfering with your processing and thinking. And like I said to you, with the phones, when you're on the phone looking at something, looking it up, you're reading something, what happens? You get prompts now telling you, do you want to purchase or buy that same item? They're all in your business. They're trying to dictate to you. They're giving you stories, false narratives, lies, make believes. They want to be the controllers of all existence. They want to dictate existence. So that's why I said to you, this is why they have been allowed to do this for so many years. But like I said, from groups of people who claim to be more intelligent, more smarter, beyond you, have more higher you know, stats of graduation of this, that, and the fourth, and they're better at you at everything. How are they not better at dictating this and seeing this to come fruition to now where we're at? Because if I knew that the society was going to collapse, I would say, hey, I would dictate this years ago, put together a whole data sheet, information, get this beyond prior, put my name on it and say, hey, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, so I can go down in history. These people already knew this is going to happen because they were all lying to us and manipulating and stealing money and doing this for the longest. That's why nothing has come out of this. Once again, you will never see a cancer vaccination or uh, a form of medication that gets rid of it. You'll never see one that gets rid of AIDS, STDs. You will never see a type of material we can use that's better than gas. You'll never see them get rid of none of these things because it's all a lie that they want to control the narrative on. We know solar energy works better than electricity, right? We know things can harness solar energy. We know things can store solar energy. We know all this stuff, right? But yet and still, we're still using this, what we're using, which is causing problems, right? Which if it's a mass outage go out, how will we survive then? You see what I mean? Like what I'm saying to you, they have controlled this so much that they have allowed us to now live in the lie that they controlled. And the lie is nothing more but a make believe story that they just keep writing in on. I tell my family member, I say, remember Mr. Hoover, J. Edgar, you already know who. Okay. He said they made a 50-year plan for a 50-year plan for a 50-year plan. So they have been doing this for the longest. They knew this was going to come. They didn't want us to have this income because they knew that this country would be on a righteous path and we will have stuff put together properly. So instead, they allowed all these people to scam. They allowed all these people to do all this stuff. They lied to us, brought in these fairy tale Bigfoot creatures and all this stuff, spent money on all this stuff while all this is happening, while these people brought large amounts of drugs, human trafficking, brought more drugs, created drugs, brought more people here, created fraud. They did all this. So once again, with that being said, what do you truly think now about people's lies? And like I stated to you, yes, I feel some type of way about certain things and certain people in certain areas, certain cities, and certain towns. Because I said to myself, if we are a minority there and they have dogged us there, why would you be representing that? Why would you be putting that, um, you know, out there like you representation of a place that has destroyed us as a people, a town, a city? I'm not representing nothing no more. I represent me as a human being. I don't represent a city or a town or a place. I'm from a place, yes. I was born here, originated here from the Bay Area, but I don't represent. What am I representing here? I don't own anything here to represent. I don't have control over nothing here I can represent. I can tell you who I am. That's the only thing I can control and represent me myself as a human being that have accomplished certain stats or you know skills and learn technology from my training and from my years of being schooled or going to facilities and learning techniques and different abilities. Other than that, I can't represent nobody. I'm not here to represent a grown ass adult. I don't know what that person is doing. I don't have no um, psyche to dictate their mind and dictate who they are and what they are and represent. I can't represent nobody. I represent myself. I don't want to be involved with representing other people because I don't know what their agendas are. You see what I mean? Here where I'm from, the Bay Area, they push a lot of pimping. Like I said, once again, I have no problem with a pimp with grown ass women who want to go prostitute themselves. I have no problem with that. Hey, go along, do what you do. These are grown ass adult women. They can choose whatever they want to choose. I have no problem with you being a player or whatever you want to do. But what I do have a problem is that we live in a city or a society, well, we live in a state that promotes prostitution of young children. That's where I kind of draw the line at. You see what I mean? Um, that's why I say it's more than meets the eyes going on here. And there's too many human trafficking cases, too many child pornography cases, too many young girls coming up missing, young boys. It just makes no logical sense for me to believe in this false narrative and to believe that pimping is the thing for people like me that are in a poverty area and young women that have so many abilities and skills and talents can't do better and go outside of that and achieve. No, I don't get down with none of that. I don't promote that. But some people here would promote that. That's why I said I can't represent other people's ideologies and mindsets because that's not what I get down and how I get down in life. That's not my mindset. I don't get down taking advantage or taking from people that don't have nothing. I get down with working for what I got to get mines. I don't get down with no um low vibration weak shit because I'll just forgive my French. Um, I don't feel like if it makes sense to take from somebody that has nothing, it's already worn down already. So why are you taking from somebody that's not worth anything when they're over here they have the brand new ones? Are you that stupid and that weak to where you got to go to that person to do that because somebody told you and you're that weak in your mindset? But yeah, That's what I learned. There's a lot of things going on here. There's a lot of people who tend to do these type of things because that's what their mindset is at. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are comfortable believing in these lies. They're comfortable believing in this destruction. And there's a lot of people who won't stand up to it and say anything. And they allow it to fester and manifest till it gets out of pocket. Right now, like I said to you, the thing that was going on with me was that I had people that are weak. Like they can't accomplish anything in their lives, right? So what they were doing, they were trying to get together in a catastrophic group and try to make it like I had something going on, or they was trying to defend society. These people were dope fiends, tweakers, liars, child molesters, been in prisons, been homosexuals, all types of stuff, right? But they were trying to like go against people like us in our community who were trying to render our community and make it stronger again. And they were trying to act like they were doing it for the streets, which we know the streets is a joke and it's all a misconcept and it's a lie. Nothing in the streets is real. Okay. That's all set up by these same people. That's why I said it to you early within this Rose Room discussion. There's not been one person from our community or these low poverty communities that have sold that type of narcotics or whatever it is and has been successful when they can tell you that they've done it and are still doing it to this day with nobody messing with them. It's make believe. No, they can't do that. They do it in the back rooms with the people that's in the back rooms who are maneuvering and doing it behind closed doors because they're lying to people. That's why we said the war on that drug is a hoax. It's a lie. We already see that's a lie because they can't get rid of the drugs. No matter what president, what government you get, somehow you notice the drugs never go away. Just think about that. And I guarantee you won't find one that they will go. They won't go away. Period. Not one government will come into play. Not one entity. Not one president. Not one person. Nobody. They will never get rid of that stuff. They'll never get rid of criminal acts. Just like they'll never get rid of pornography and child pornography and human trafficking because they're all involved with it. It's all a lie. That's why you see right now there has been no arrest in the U.S. of any celebrities because they're lying for these people and covering it up. Once again, see what I mean? And then what people don't understand is that when I say this, I mean like you got to look at who's running society, right? I can't be racist if I don't run society and I haven't created impoverished communities. I haven't been involved in creating narcotics to attack people. I have not been involved in creating fraud schemes to target only certain groups and to take from them. Um, there's nothing racist I can come up with. What I'm telling you is actual facts that racist people have done. And what you have been in tune to believe is that these people are doing it for a purpose to benefit you. And this party that we have been collectively going to, which is the Democrat group, which is this whole state. And now you can see why this whole state can't get rid of drugs or gangs or human trafficking because the same group that runs the state are involved with it. This is the same people that's trying to tell you to look at aliens in the sky while they waste money. It's the same group telling you that Bigfoot exists and have all kinds of shops and people that are getting paid off of this rhetoric, which is all fabricated because there's no 100% proof nowhere, are telling you that that exists. So once again, these are the same people that are promoting the same chaos and destruction that they won't even bring to their own homes, but yet and still will sell you. Now, for instance, I'm going to tell you about the just like how the community of society is a lie, the music community is a lie, The entertainment community is a lie. Everything is a lie. We even know the actual food administration is a lie because they put the wrong information on the actual boxes that they show you that hold these type of um, chemicals or preservatives to keep your food fresh. They've been lying. So if they lied to you about your food, they lied to you about these actors, entertainers in the movies. They lie to you about these people's agenda. These people that work as actors, entertainers, they'll lie to you and sell you something and will also have you evaporated off of a lie. The same people that are politically campaigning through your cities and towns, which are all impoverished, but they keep getting money and keep telling you that they can't get no programs, but you keep seeing new places built and people moving in from other places that ain't from the United States. They lie to you. So what I'm trying to state to you, there's a lot of lies going on. And there's a lot of people involved with a lot of BS. They won't stop. That's why we have to stand on business and say something every time. We have to keep coming onto these platforms. We have to keep showing up. We have to keep challenging the society. Because I know people don't like to hear me state this. They're like, oh, that causes racism. Check this out. These people have been racist for years. They've been racist the whole time they lied to us and told us they didn't have the money when they had it. Did they care? So moving forward, that's the same mindset I have. You got to have that mindset. You can't allow them to come at you with any and everything that they want to and not do the same thing to them. Like you're in a fight, right? And when you're in a fight, you're going to use every tool that you've been trained to use when you're in a one on one fight. You're in the octagon, they're in the octagon with you. What are you going to do? You're going to rumble. You're going to get busy. You feel me? You're going to do every tactic possible to expose their weaknesses. They're going to do every tactic possible to expose yours. And when I'm in this ring boxing against them, I'm going to expose every angle I can to get a good clean hit and to make sure I land as many to drop them and to let them lose in front of a whole audience. I want everybody to see me whooping their ass. And how I'm whooping their ass is with my verbal conversation, my communication, my platform, me giving out this information of telling you that these people were willing to give billions of dollars to fairy tale, false narrative entities that don't even exist. They're willing to give money to people that came here that don't even have job qualifications that don't even exist, that lied to you. And they're willing to do this for all these years while they let them do it right under their noses. And they didn't even see that they existed doing this. But these are the same people that know everything that you trust everything to, which I told you is a lie. You should never trust them with nothing because they're lying about everything. Told you a lie every 5 minutes. I told you in my medical situation, I said that the Kaiser Permanente lied to me. I had to go to Kaiser Permanente and I had to get the doctor almost to be kicked off of my case so I could get something rolling because this man was trying to tell me that I need to go get general assistance. I need to go get food stamps because I had a back injury on my job, me working for a whole week while my other coworkers took time off because it was Christmas around that time, and somehow they got a week off, and because I had started later than them, somehow I didn't get no time off. I had to work there by myself, lifting heavy stuff by myself, until wear and tear happens to where I'm working so much by myself because I'm doing such a good job that the employer didn't fire me for that. No, they waited till I got injured from working hard. I had to go to the doctor and tell them about what was going on with me medically. They were so stupid and so dumb at Kaiser Permanente and Vallejo that they couldn't even look through the damn X-rays. They couldn't even look to the actual MRI. They couldn't even look. I had to go to another clinic, another doctor, and to show this stupid doctor at an actual hospital that he was so dumb with his lies because he was trying to cover up and give the a company money because that's what they pay them under the table to do the lawyers and everything else. The state cover it up so that way you get the most a minimum amount of money that you were supposed to receive for an injury of you working. Um, they did that. So yeah, of course, yeah. That's why I speak the way I speak about certain places and certain people because I find incompetence in them. I don't find no fucking intelligence, and you can't definitely can't tell me you're intelligent. You're stupid. Because, like I said to you, if I can catch stuff and your job is to do that, and you can't even do your job, and I don't even have a degree or certification in none of this, you're stupid to me. What did you get your degree at? What did you get in your information? Who taught you? They're dumb. Because if you can't diagnose anybody and you're misdiagnosing people, why are you getting paid money? You're stupid. That's like a mechanic who can't change an oil change and is telling people that their car is working fine and putting them back out to cause them, you know, a problem on to stall out on the freeway and cause an accident and kill a whole family because this person oil wasn't changed. But he's so stupid as a person that works as a mechanic, he can't even do his job. That's how I see that doctor. That's how I see the society now. They're stupid to me. They lie about everything. They lie so much, it catches up with them. And what we're starting to see now is that they've been so stupid in a society, they let these people steal right in front of them. The same people who claim to you that they're so smart and intelligent and will battle you on everything and know everything, you're fucking dumb. Because if you allow some people that's funding a terrorist organization that's trying to murder and destroy and attack people to be here and to get money under your nose, that's crazy. And you got all these type of wiretaps and wire stuff, and uh, you can follow people with these Apple, you know, Apple little what's the names that you can put in people's cars and anywhere else. You can put these hidden little devices, and it's like how can you? Well, how are you not using your mind to use these things to catch any of these people? And they've been here for years, 15 years, taking money and giving it to a terrorist organization harming people overseas. And you allowed them to do all this. And you're trying to tell me about who I am. And you're so stupid that these people are here taken from everybody. Right. Once again, don't believe the bullshit hype. Don't believe these lies. Don't believe these people. Go do your own research. Do your own studying. Look into things by yourself. Doesn't mean that you do not have to go to school and learn knowledge. I mean, also inquire extra stuff on the outside. Look for other ways. There's so many different ways you can learn or gain skills or knowledge or information from certain things. Um, we have so much free at our fingertips right now. Like I said to you, right now, what I'm noticing that we're just catching so many lies. And I'm sorry. I think this year, all the way to the end, is going to be like this, and next year may be even worse when it comes to lies because I just think that it's never going to stop. And I think these stupid people who are on top, who think that somehow that none of these lies are going to catch up with them, they're just going to cause more problems for all of us in the long run because they're stupid and they don't really see what they're doing to cause hurt um, to the people that already been here and they have been working their ass off and trying to do righteous, and you're allowing all this stuff to go on. They're the ones bringing everybody, um, momentum down. Because the more we start to see the stupidity, the more people start to participate inside of it. I don't know why. But like I said to you, yeah, this has been a Rose discussion with MLR Rose. I appreciate you if you listening and tuned into the Rose discussion. But once again, this to me was something that we need to talk about and we need to wake up. And when um, I'm saying this as a person that is from this place, and I'm saying this as a person that has always been honest his whole life. You can't find no place of me stealing no money from nobody. You can't find no place of me bringing no tons of drugs in. You can't find no place of me doing anything that's out of pocket. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Um, this is crazy how we just allow the society to collapse, and the people that are making it collapse are the same ones that are trying to clean it up, but they won't do the right thing. They won't do what they're told to do. They don't, how can I say, like, they made a deal and they won't follow through with that deal. They won't, they won't come clean on their part. And that's why I'm saying to you that we have to expose this because something is really, truly, deeply wrong here. And once again, I'm not after anybody that's making their money legally, that work, that do anything of that nature, that's on point with everything. I'm talking about it's crazy how people could sit there in front of you and sell drugs right in front of a police station and be about 50 feet away from it and never get arrested and be by a federal building in between a police station and a federal building and be downtown San Francisco selling narcotics. And it took this long for everybody to get the ball rolling to get remove all these individuals. That's crazy. So it took them from 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It took them damn near 7 years just to get some people off of a corner. But yet and still, they tell me they have technology to meet an interstellar being from another planet that came down here just to probe their butt cracks. And they somehow know about a large ape man and a dinosaur that lives in the ocean. While all fraud is being committed and tons of money is being stolen right in front of them. And they all have degrees and they're smarter than me. Please make this make sense. Because it doesn't. All right, this is MLR Rose with the Rose from Discussion. I appreciate you. Thank you. I didn't put no music on this time because I wanted to be for real with this one. This is not a party go lucky podcast show today. This is more of I'm trying to put some awareness into somebody's mind or just into their entity itself so they can wake up and start looking at these things and question why. Like why? Why are these people lying about everything? And how much are they lying about? Thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm going to sign off.